There's been a number of visitors from Europe to China of late. To start with, we had the Deputy Prime Minister, or the Minister in charge of the economy of Germany, Habeck. He's known as a hardliner on China. Before he visited, he was taking a more conciliatory tone and was talking about collaboration and so on and so forth. But this is at the same time of EU start investigating, quote unquote, Chinese government subsidies on EVs, electric vehicles. I think, to me, this is all a silly game. You sound like you're conciliatory, you take very harsh actions, and then you hope to be able to appease the other side doing negotiations. But I think China would just have none of that. You can talk all the talk you want to talk, but it's your action which really shows what your intentions are and what your objectives are. And the objectives are very simple. It's following the U.S. imposition of duties on Chinese electric vehicles. And Europe is following the tack of the U.S. on the one hand. On the other hand, there are diverse interests in Europe. He came with a group of small and medium-sized companies. Well, actually, in Germany, it's called the mittelstands, medium-sized companies, who actually provide a lot of products exported to China, components. Now, the small and medium-sized companies in Germany really have suffered a lot in the last few years because of the sanctions against Russian gas, Russian energy, Russian raw materials. As a result, they've really became not very competitive in the global market. And many of them have started to find it difficult to export to China because of their lack of competitiveness coming from their high costs. So as a result, I think there's been quite a bit of concern about further protectionist measures by the German government that potentially would harm their interest and their exports, especially exports of components to China. I think this reflects the conflict within the German various interest groups. There are those who like to have expanded trade and investment opportunities with China, and then there are those who are trying to play the protectionist game, as the Americans are doing. So it's a way for the Chinese government to show the German side that we won't fall into your trap, we're not going to play your game. And also we had the president of Poland. The visit at Poland was much more positive. I think Poland is a very important entry point to Europe for the rail transport between China and Europe, which has become very significant because of the instability of other transport by sea routes because of conflict in the Red Sea. I think what we have is a situation in which Poland has a new government. It's taking a much more positive view toward collaboration with China, and it will continue to expand in terms of trade and finance and investments, unlike what the German government is pushing. This is going to impact on the German economy seriously because China-German trade is a very large part of the economy of Germany. If, for example, China takes retaliatory measures, it would impact on other aspects of German economy, in addition to the consumers losing the ability or the possibility of getting highly efficient and inexpensive and much more advanced electric vehicles from China. There are many sectors in which exports from Germany are very significant in terms of the proportion that comes to China. So I think the German government has to consider whether or not they will continue to play this game and impacting on its economy, harming its consumers, and actually also other parts of its economy. There were some announcements already from China about anti-dumping investigations on various products from the EU. We'll see how that works out. But the game that was being played of making conciliatory statements, but taking very harsh and protectionist actions I'm sorry, I don't think China will follow and play that game with you.